which has to do with not only the emotional impact that this is having on our families and all the children in the families, because it's enhancing the stress of people. We have been serving Latinos for 35 years at Instituto, which is located on Mission and 25th Street. And so we hear all the stories every day that people are struggling with. And one of the things that's happening with the families is there's a increasing stress that they're living with. As Roberto said, people are having to live under even harsher and harsher conditions in order to stay in the city, in order to be close to a community and a neighborhood which they identify with, and which is their home. And so we're looking at also those kind of, the disasters and the casualty that's happening with families across the city and particularly in the Mission District. We also have to recognize that displacement, people call it gentrification. That's a very kind and class word. It is not gentrification, it is displacement, forced displacement, and it creates conditions that are really increasing the health disparities of our community. Right now we're losing people to being able to really get quality care. They have to live away from the areas. Their doctors, their nurses, all the people, the social workers who have been part of their family life and their development, they're displaced and disconnected from them. And that is increasing the health disparities. The city is not well known for addressing health equity. We all know that. Among people of color, we're often at only 50%. We're only halfway to our goals of trying to help people to live a healthier life. The forced displacement increases that disparity, and that's important. It's a health and welfare issue. It is not just an issue about, particularly just around housing. We have to look at that other end. The other thing I want to mention to everybody is what this does to communities who have developed community institutions, like Instituto, like Mission Neighborhood Centers, like all those organizations that came up post, in the civil rights movement to address community institutional needs. Our institutions are also becoming more and more vulnerable. Every time we try to address issues and we need to find places to serve, we are being forced out as well. And so you're looking at the individual, the family, and the community impact here. I also want to say that I think of it as a brain drain. What's happening in our community is we're losing so many people who have shown a great commitment to the health of our communities. Social workers, therapists, caseworkers. They are having to live in Antioch. They're having to live in Sacramento. They're having to live in all areas outside of the city. And they remain so devoted. They continue to come. But there's no doubt that then impacts on our local capacity and also our capacity to have people engaged in community work. So we are faced not just with a crisis, but I would call it a disaster. And so in disaster conditions, the common response of a city of leadership, you call a disaster, you take extreme measures to be able to protect people and property, and you respond with compassion. This is where we are at. We need the mayor, we need the city supervisors, we need everybody in the city to pay attention, to see that this is such a critical issue. This is breaking the heart and soul of a community and many communities. What we face here in the Mission is faced in the Tenderloin. It's faced in the South Market. It's faced in Chinatown. So this is not just a neighborhood issue. This is a city, and this city must remain accessible, must remain really diverse, and we need to be able to have housing that's affordable, that addresses the needs of low income, of working people, and of the middle class. So today is a very important day, and we commend Supervisor Campos for his leadership and for calling what it is. This is a moment in which we must seize the moment to call a moratorium on housing. Thank you.